Welcome, junior hires. This is Mrs. Angleton, and this is 7th and 8th grade language arts. Today I'm going to be going over our syllabus with you that you'll need to watch this video, and then at the end you'll need to take a signed paper home to sign with your parents to show that you have read through these frequently asked questions in class overview and understand them, and if you have any questions, you've asked them and things like that. Okay? So, language arts is a big thing that a lot of people just think means that you're going to write, but language arts is the art of language, which is communication. So communication is reading, writing, and speaking, and that includes like presenting and working with each other, doing partner work, learning how to communicate more effectively with other people. It's really about dealing with other people and how to communicate with them. So we're talking about relationships when we talk about language arts. Didn't realize that, did you? So in this class, students read and think about what they read, then they communicate their thoughts through discussions and writings. Basically, we work on skills for everything in life. The skills that you learn in language arts about how to communicate your thoughts more effectively through your writing and through your speaking, and then also just learning how to think deeper and have more intelligent thoughts. It's going to help you in all of your other content areas and in life in general. So I had a student last year, whenever it was a student a couple years ago, I guess, that said that in this class they learn more life lessons than they do writing. And I thought, you know what, that's true. So life lesson class, language arts, we're going to learn how to communicate, we're going to learn how to talk, and write and read and all the above. And think, of course. Thinking is a big one as well. So to do that, we will be focusing on 4 different types of writing right here, and different types of reading, which are listed over here. So quarter 1, we will be doing narrative paragraph writing, quarter 2, expository paragraph writing, quarter 3, persuasive paragraph writing, and essay writing, and then quarter 4 will be creative writing, which is a completely different style and just more for the fun of it as opposed to communicating more clearly. In quarter 1, we will be using short stories that we will be reading to do some of our narrative writing with. In quarter 2, 7th graders will be reading To Old Women, and 8th graders will be reading short dystopian type literature. Quarter 3, 7th graders will be reading Out of My Mind, and 8th graders will be reading excerpts from How They Croaked, but not the entire book. And in quarter 4, we will be reading creative writing to be able to mimic and emulate for our own creative writing. Okay? So, what materials do students need to bring to class every day? Students need to have a notebook that they can leave in this class. So they're not actually going to have to bring it every day. It should be here. This is a requirement that you should be able to provide for class within the first week, and then it will be left here for the remainder of the time. That needs to be here every day. It will not ever need to leave the room. There are a few exceptions to that students can ask me about if they need to, but generally the notebook needs to stay in the room, and there's designated spots on their tables to keep their notebooks. A pen or pencil, I'm not really specific or particular about what you write with as long as you have something to write with as you walk in the door every day. You do need headphones for this class. Headphones are only needed when you are at Station C, but there are other days that students might want to listen to the audio of a book. Certain students will be asked to listen to the audio of a book, so it's best to just kind of have them with them every day, but definitely on the days that they are at Station C, which we'll get to in a minute about when that happens. An independent reading book, which will be checked out here in the first couple weeks of the quarter. They will need to bring that book with them every day. So if their notebook is here already, then when they walk in the door, students need to have a pencil, headphones, and an independent reading book with them. Okay? Students always want to know, like, I need to go to the bathroom, I need to go to my locker, what do I do? Well, you guys have passes on the back of your folder, your Skyview folder, and you just fill one out and hand it to me, and I'll sign it. If it's something that's become an issue, you're going a lot, you tend to be gone a long time, I might not sign it and say, hey, you just need to wait till the end of the period. But generally, if you have a pass, I'm just going to fill it out and sign it. We don't even need to talk. Like if I'm with another student, just hand me a pass that's filled out. I'll just sign. You can walk out. No big deal. What does a typical week look like in this class? On most weeks, because there are weeks that we have testing or they're shortened weeks for some reason, on most weeks, on Mondays you will write a paragraph or finish any work from Friday. and read independently. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we actually have a station rotation where you will be at a station on Tuesday, a different station on Wednesday, and a different station on Thursday. So a third of the class will be doing an activity while another third is doing another activity and another third is doing another activity. And then on Fridays, we will have a classroom reading and an assignment based on that reading to do. So on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, students are moving and doing different activities, and there's breaks in there. Fridays are usually more of the quiet work day, and Mondays are kind of all over the place depending on what needs to be accomplished, depending on what was accomplished on Friday. And what that looks like is usually a lot of fun, goofy silliness when students do their work and are on task when they need to be. Then we have some fun, crazy stuff. So the students will get used to this timer that we have going in the classroom where this woman is yelling at them to get to stations or to do the starter question. It'll let them know when they're done with a starter question, when they need to get to their station, how long they have to do that. And so a lot of this, they'll just kind of get used to in the first few weeks. You'll just get through the procedure of that. And if you follow those procedures, then we have a lot more free time and a lot more freedom in here. We even have what's called a brain break in the middle of the day on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for sure, sometimes on Mondays and Fridays as well. But Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, in the middle of the station activity, we have a brain break. And that's just a minute of get up, exercise, run around, talk. It's just a minute of get your wiggles out. Sometimes we do some fun things together as a class. Other times we don't. And it just is a good space to have fun and be silly and connect in other ways before we get back to work. The work that students will have to do. Students' grade will consist of 70% of their grade book grade will be classwork, classified, and I'll talk about that in a minute, and 30% will be assessments. So the majority of their work in class, 70%, that's up to a C quality, is really just following directions and doing what's required of you. And then the extra 30% is more of a test type assignments. So it's not too difficult to get a decent grade in this class as long as you follow directions and do everything that's asked of you. Attempt it anyways, at least attempt it, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So your classwork consists of notebook checks, which happen on Fridays. Throughout the week, students will have starter questions, practice assignments. Sometimes they'll have like a reflection video that they do. All of these will be checked on Fridays. I'll call students up one at a time to my desk, and I will check their notebooks and make sure that they've done all the things that they were asked to do throughout the week. A typical week's notebook check is worth about 10 points. These assignments, though, cannot be redone or turned in late as they are graded on completion. So students are here in class. They should just complete, try, attempt all of their assignments for the week in their notebook, and then I'll check it on Friday. If a student misses a day that week, they have 2 days to make that work up in their notebook, or it's not going to be able to be made up. So notebook is really completion work. It's practice work. It's a free point. If they've attempted it, they get their point. If they haven't attempted, they don't. So they really just need to do those assignments, and they cannot be redone. So anytime in the grade book it says notebook check and then the week, those assignments cannot be redone. Okay. Weekly assignments, which are on Fridays, students will have an assignment, like an actual paper that they're handed, and they'll turn those in. And those are typically worth between 15 and 20 points, and they're based on the reading of the week and whatever skill we've been working on. These assignments can be redone. So they need to be left in the classroom. They're turned in at the end on Friday. If they're not finished on Mondays, they can be pulled out and finished, and then again left in the basket. If a student felt like they didn't do as well on it, weren't focused, etc., they can get a new copy, redo it, and turn that into the teacher's desk. Independent reading is also a classwork assignment. Students in our entire school are required to have one independent reading book that they read every quarter and take a Scholastic Reading Counts quiz at the end of the quarter on that book, and that will count as classwork grade as well. So 30% is tests or assessments, and we have paragraph assessments and an end of quarter final. So the paragraph assessment, students have at least 2.
Mr. Whitney, if you're in the building, would you please call extension 2503?
Sorry about that. Students will have at least 2 paragraphs that they are going to be assessed on. Students will be given a warning that these paragraphs that they write will be assessed that week, and they'll have an opportunity to redo it if they didn't particularly like the grade that they got. When they meet with the teacher to walk through the score that they got, and I'll grade it with them. When I do that at Station A, they will then have an opportunity to redo it and have me regrade it on Friday if they would like. And then there's an end of quarter final, which will be taken, the questions of which will be taken from the weekly assignments. So there'll be questions they're already familiar with, and it will be based on the class readings. They won't know what class readings will be assessed or what questions from those assignments, but they will be questions they've already answered. And the assessments are graded on the following scale. 50% will be completion of the assignment. So like if it's a 2-point question, 1 point will be for putting something in the box, writing something down, and then the other point will be how well they answered the question. So if they gave a thoughtful piece, that shows higher level thinking. If it answers the question completely and correctly, if it kind of answers the question completely, or if it really doesn't answer the question at all. Okay. What do I do if I miss a day of class? Well, check Power School for what you missed, check Canvas, ask a friend, talk to the teacher before class or school, not during class time when other things are going on, and make all work up from an absent outside of class time within 2 days of that absence, or it will be considered late. It needs to be done outside of class time. Don't use new class time to work on missing work. Can you still turn in work when it's missing? Yes, do it ASAP, outside of class, or during an FOL time. Late work will have a deduction of 10% per week that it's late, up to 40%. So it kind of adds on there. Make sure you get it done as soon as possible, because the sooner you get it done, the more benefit you have from that learning. The longer we go on, the less point that assignment had in the first place. If you don't finish any reading in class on a Friday, you can go on Canvas. There's the audio version of all of our books are on Canvas, but you can also come during FOL to do readings. If you think that you turned something in, but it's marked as absent or missing, politely ask Mrs. Angleton if I could have possibly misplaced it, because that happens sometimes. And I will look diligently, but I say politely. Come, say, Miss Angleton, I'm pretty sure I turned this in. Can you look again? And I will. I'll look through all of the stuff, all the no names and other class papers. And if I can't find it, then a student needs to assume that they misplaced it themselves and either find it themselves or redo it. Your grade will be up to date Monday evenings. If there's anything that needs to be redone, late, etc., it needs to be turned in Monday before school ends. And then it will be graded before Mrs. Angleton leaves the school building Monday evening. And then the next day, it will be up to date. If it's turned in after that, the 0 will probably stand until I can get to it. I can't guarantee that it will be done until Monday evenings. So that's an important thing, especially for eligibility for those of you who want to do sports. If you lose a handout, there's a black box by the door that has extra copies, or you can get on Power School and print a new one for yourself. If you come to class unprepared, you need to have a pencil independent reading book and headphones when you're at Station C, and be in your seat when the bell rings. Be ready before the bell rings. If not, and you have to get up and leave class or do other things when the bell rings, that's tardy. So please make sure that you have your stuff and you're sitting there. If it happens repeatedly, I'm going to have a discussion with you and maybe possibly your parents about trying to be here on time. You will not have any homework in this class. Everything is done in class. The only time things need to be done outside of class is if you missed a day. You may not use your cell phone in this class at any time. I will always provide you with what you need in this class, okay? You can't do it. Don't ask. It can't be here. If you need more help, you need to talk to me. Come to me before school, after school, FOL. Try not to interrupt another student. That is a big thing. I will be working with other students one-on-one a lot in this class. You need to not interrupt their time with me. If you need help, ask other people. Come to me later. There are materials for you guys to use by the door and on the bookshelf. You need to turn in your work by the door. If it's late and it needs to be graded more prominently, put it on my desk. The rules are basically respect, 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 respect. There's some examples of that here. Respect your neighbor. Don't interfere with anyone's learning, safety, or well-being. Respect materials in the class. Respect your teacher, and respect yourself. There's some examples here of what happens if you break the rule, but ideally I want to keep you in the class. So that's always my primary concern.